Hello, welcome. This is Matthew from Love Buddy. Today is Saturday, the 18th of May, 2019. It's 10 a.m. right now in Philippines. It's 10 p.m. right now in New York. And I don't know what time it is where you are because I'm not sure where you are. Today's topic is about love. Let's see. We'll look at genuine love and its relevance to our lives and our world. The reason I say genuine love, or G-love, you can call it, we need to differentiate from the general vague definition or the much varied definition that people use for love. Sometimes love is something different all the time to somebody's mind. Maybe sometimes it means romance, sometimes it means sex. I had a girlfriend once that thought that money was love, or she thought sex was love. We can get confused about the real meaning of love. So if we don't make some clarity around that, then maybe I'm talking about one thing and you think I'm talking about something else. So genuine love, what is genuine love? Well, it's defined, there's 67 qualities now that have been defined so far, and they're on the site. You can see the link here in the comments, lovebuddy.com, and it talks about love. But what's the big deal about love? Why do I go on and on about love? Why did I create Love Buddy? And why do I think love is an important thing? Why is love really an important thing in the world? It's not just me. I'm not the only one, right? It's really the whole world. I mean, if you listen to so many songs that talk about love, and I'm not talking about only the romance songs, although there are a lot of those, and those are the biggest portion. But what the world needs now is Love, Sweet Love by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And there's Where Is the Love that is done by Black Eyed Peas. And then there's so many songs about how we need more love in the world and how that's not necessarily about the romantic love. So this is the kind of love I'm talking about, all the things that love can do for us. Love is so powerful. What do people use to try to solve their problems? Well, they try to use intellect. And intellect has to do with having a strong memory or being quick on the uptake, understanding something quickly, getting a concept quickly. But if we don't have intention of love, if we don't have sensitivity and empathy, if we don't have kindness, if we don't have a positive intention, all the intellect in the world isn't going to get us anywhere. And some of the biggest criminals, in fact, the greatest, most effective criminals in the world that have done most harm to humanity, have really had a strong intellect when it comes to getting in power and using that power, holding that power. Maybe they don't have a high IQ, but they sure know how to get in that position and play that role and motivate other people. So love can be something that is a great equalizer, because love isn't like intellect. Love has its own kind of intelligence. And that's the intelligence of love, which is more powerful than anything else. Another thing people look at as a solution, as a foundation, as a goal, as a focus in life could be money. Because when you have a lot of money, you have a lot more freedom. You have power. You can have someone do things for you that you don't want to do yourself. You can have the freedom to travel. You can have the freedom to not work and have to listen to a boss telling you what to do all day. Maybe you don't like to do what he wants you to do. Maybe you don't like the boss. Maybe you don't like the company, or you don't like the job. So if we have money, sometimes people really get focused on that, because when we have money, it gives us a lot more freedom than we normally have without money. So sometimes people make that as the foundation in their life. That's their goal. That's all they want. I remember asking a good friend of mine years and years ago when he was building his software empire, and I said, well, how much money do you need? How much money do you want? And he didn't get that. It was like limitless. Well, that ended for him. And that kind of happitness ended too, because money doesn't make us happy. Love makes us happy. Love in itself on its own can make us happy. Not money, not hoarding money, not earning money. We'll get a little bit of happiness if we can buy a new car, if we have a nice meal, if we have a nice trip, but that doesn't come from money. That comes from the car, comes from the meal, comes from the trip. So when we get some clarity about where our happiness comes from, where a good foundation in life comes from, then we know where to focus our energy. And if we focus our energy on love as a foundation for interaction in this world, for our identity, for our goals, for what we want to do, love opens up the door to everything. For example, if we have love for ourselves, if we have compassion for ourselves, if we communicate with ourselves, if we listen to our heart, if we're conscious, we'll be able to find and look for and seek out the things that most resonate with us individually. And each of us are a unique combination of qualities, of talents and interests, and things that really turn us on, excite us, and things that really make us feel inspired. If we love ourselves and we have love as a foundation for that, we get in touch with ourselves, and what we want to do, what we end up doing, becomes something that's fulfilling, gives meaning to our lives. Look at money as an example. If we look at money, people do this all the time. People do this all the time, especially in Asia. I've had the opportunity to visit about 50 different countries in the world and many more cultures. And so many of the cultures in the world dictate, it's the peer pressure, it's the way that people think in your environment, whether it's your parents or the kids at school, or the people at work, or the people in your family, what you're surrounded with, this kind of culture, so often, so much of the time, is money. That's what the goal is. And they think that money's going to make them happy. That's the foundation of life. I did a poll of kids when I was teaching in China. I asked thousands of kids because I had a lot of experience in a lot of different schools teaching. And I said, what do you want to be? Nobody ever said anything like, I love horses, I want to train horses. Nobody ever said anything like, oh, I want to help with a problem of hunger in the world. Nobody ever said anything about charitable at all that I spoke with. None of these kids did. What was their environment? They said they want to be a manager. I said, what the heck is a manager? Manager of what? Of a warehouse? Manager of a fast food restaurant? Manager of an export company? It didn't matter. The manager is the person who's the boss. He tells people what to do and he makes more money. And that was the objective. That was the goal. So when we look at how people are focusing their energy, focusing their time, getting to know what is going to make them happy, if they use money for that, imagine why the world is how it is today. If people think money is going to make them happy, if they don't think that knowing themselves, loving others, building relationships where we're helping each other, where we're cooperating in a peaceful way, where we trust each other, where we have integrity. People don't focus on that. Why? Because it's never taught. I've never seen that in any school that I've ever been to. I've never had love taught to me. I've had to learn that myself. So Love Buddy here is an opportunity for people to learn about love and for people to be taught about love, for us to share love with each other. That's why I'm doing this video, and that's why I'm doing this organization. So next step, okay, so I've looked at some different things that people think. People think, okay, maybe I'll be powerful. They think, okay, I'm gonna build big muscles, or I'm gonna build great ability to run quickly, or I'm gonna eat the perfect diet, or I'm gonna do the perfect exercise. So my body is a temple. Wonderful thing. We should be healthy, we should care about our body, but that isn't the foundation for happiness. Love is the foundation for happiness. And if you only think about your physical appearance or your physical health only, that can sacrifice our friendships. It can sacrifice the rest of our lives. We lose balance. There's always balance with love. You can never have too much love because love is the foundation for existence. Love is what everything is made of. You can't have too much of reality. You can't have too much of peace and kindness and security and cooperation. You can't have too much of those things. You can't have too much love. You can't overdo love. So people, when they focus on different aspects of their lives as a foundation, everything kind of falls away. If you look at love and what genuine love is, and you understand what genuine love is, then you can absolutely have the capacity to expand in any other area. You can have the capacity to understand every other area and its relevance. It's the great equalizer among us all, and it's the great balancer in life. Why? Okay, so here's some key points I just want to touch on here. How is love relevant to our lives and the world? How can something that seems so vague, seems such a general thing? You know, people say, oh, what, love, great, yeah, wonderful. But how could something like that make any difference in our lives? Well, we need a common denominator. Maybe I don't like the same restaurant that you like. Maybe you like this kind of food. Maybe I like that kind of food. Maybe I'm a vegetarian. Maybe you're a meat eater. Maybe you're this religion or I'm that religion. Maybe we have different income levels. We drive different types of cars. Maybe we like the opposite sports team. Maybe our sports teams are rivals. So we can't settle on your sports team, your religion, your income level, or your way of living your life, your political party. That's not a common denominator. These are things that divide us. And that's totally okay. We're going out to dinner, maybe we're going to go to 2 different restaurants. Sometimes that division is okay, but what about the foundation? What should be the foundation? The foundation for us in a community, in the world, in our family should be, I want you to be healthy and happy and reach your goals. And I want to contribute to you and support you in the way that I can. I don't want to get in your way, and I don't want you to get in my way. And I want us to support each other and work together as a human family. There's a foundation. That comes from love. So when you have love as the center, not your sports team, you're going to have a lot more success. If you have love as your center, not your religion, not your particular God or your particular philosophy, but if you have love as the center, things are going to go a lot more smoothly. Political party. You see it all the time now, especially in America with the things about the President Trump. Very controversial figure, very controversial. So there are so many people that support him, and there are so many people that really are against him. He's very, very polarizing. Politics, it's not love. It's got nothing to do with love as far as I can see. Maybe you love your country. Maybe you want the world to go better, so you're picking that as the way to do it. No, you can't only do that. You have to look at, this is why love has to be conscious. Love has to be aware. Maybe some laws apply. Maybe some laws are going to be helpful. The bulk of them are not. The bulk of them are just extraneous, irrelevant. If we're conscious and we care about others, that's enough. That's enough of a rule. And if we have some accountability, and if we hold others to account for the things that they do, so that we're working together in a community, 99% of us are all sane and rational. We want to work things out as long as we have the tools, as long as we share the foundation. So love solves all the problems that we have. Like if you can think of a problem that love does not solve, let me know, because I haven't seen one yet. I haven't seen any problems that love cannot solve. Love is a good model for peace and awareness, taking action and solving problems. So love is a great model for that. We can look to love if we understand genuine love. We can look to genuine love to handle the situations that come up on a day-to-day basis. Whether it's getting the kids ready for school, or getting ready for school ourselves and the rush. We have an inner calmness if we're in the love zone. If you understand love, and you make love the center of your life, you're going to have a certain kind of calmness. You're going to be in the love zone. And when you're in the love zone, the panic goes away, the fear goes away, the anger goes away, frustration goes away. All of these things go away, and we're able to take life a step at a time, a bit at a time. We're able to focus on what's the best thing to do. We're able to make rational decisions. if we have love as our center and we're in the love zone. What are some qualities that make for a better world? What are some of the key qualities of love? Out of the 67 qualities of love, let's look at just a few of them. Let's look at 5 just to make it simple. Although maybe all of them might come into play. All of them do come into play. Love communicates. Love doesn't shut off. Love doesn't close the door. Love doesn't make itself inaccessible. Love communicates. Love answers questions. Love speaks and love listens with the intention to respect and understand the other person and to do the best to make itself known in a clear and concise way. Communication is so important. Communication is the activity of cooperation. It's what makes cooperation possible. Flood's coming, we need to build a dam. Okay, tell me what I need to do. This is communication. Okay, we need to get some sandbags. Okay, how many sandbags should we get? Where should I get them? Okay, get 10, get them over there, and bring them over here. This kind of communication helps us get along and work through crises or just day-to-day basics. We need to work together. We need to say what we need. We need to listen to what others need. We need to share how we feel, what ideas that we have, and we can need to listen to other people's ideas. Communication is that foundation for cooperating together, for getting things done. Communication is critical, it's vital. And I want to once again mention this idea that no answer is an answer. It's not. No answer means not an answer. That's what the word no means. N-O, it means not. So no answer is never an answer. And if we're accountable to other people, if we do our best to respect, to be nurturing, kind, empowering other people, we're going to answer them, even if we're frustrated, even if we're irritated, even if we don't really understand or we don't even like that person who's asking us. We could even say, if we have to, look, please don't bother me, okay? Here's the answer to your question, or here's how I feel about this. Please, it's irritating me, it's bothering me. You can say that, but at least you're giving the person a heads up and you're letting them know what's going on. Our incapacity, our inability, our lack of skill in communication has a direct relationship to our ability to love, absolutely direct. If you can communicate more, if you can love more, you're going to communicate more. If you can communicate more with compassion, you're loving the person more. If you can't communicate, I can't talk about that, that gets me angry, I get upset about that. I remember when I was in Malaysia, I had experience with good friends of mine, and I would challenge their religion. I said, wait, I challenge their culture. I challenge the way they handle their politics there. Wow, it was unanimous. I had 3 very close friends that were very good people, but they were incapable of communicating when it came to challenging their culture and saying, wow, I don't think this is fair to these people. This doesn't make sense to me. Why do you do it this way? Just absolutely. They didn't want to communicate. They couldn't communicate about that. So when we have an area where we can't communicate, we can't grow, we can't learn, we can't interact with others, and we can't cooperate. If there's an area, I refuse to talk about that. That subject is forbidden. Love learns. That's the second one of the 5 here. Love learns and love grows. So what is that? Love doesn't have a static place where this is right and this is wrong. Love doesn't work that way. Love is dynamic. So is that a compassionate thing to do? Well, as far as I know now, as far as I can see in this situation, yes, that's a compassionate thing to do. Is that a respectful way to behave? Yes, I'm trying to be respectful in this situation. You know, am I being honest? Am I being open? Am I being cooperative? All these things, these are the qualities of love. When we are practicing these qualities of love, we have the ability then to be loving, and we have the ability to learn because our mind is open. So when we're communicating and we're hearing what the other person is saying, oh, I get it. I didn't already know. Love says, I don't already know everything. That's not the goal. That's not the objective. You don't get the certificate, now I have knowledge. Life doesn't work that way. The more knowledge we have, the more ability, the more freedom, the more flexibility, the more power we have to work with others, If I go to a place, maybe we might go to some part where there are coal mines in America. And these guys live in this coal mine culture. And I know nothing about coal mines. I haven't even seen one. I'm trying to think of one that I guess I've seen them on TV before in a movie. But I've never seen one in person. I've never been in a coal mine, and I've never watched that work and how that work is, and what these guys do at the end of the day, and what they do on the weekend, and what their lives are like, and how much they get paid, all those things. I don't know about the coal mine culture. So when I go there, I need to have an open mind and learn, oh, this is what's important to these people here. This is what drives them. This is what interests them. This is what they care about. This is how they interact. These are the things that you should do, and these are the things that you shouldn't do in order to be respectful. That applies to every kind of culture in the world. And that applies to people in your own family, friends in your own life, because each of us have our own viewpoints. If we have an open mind, we're not the authority. None of us are the authority on how to love each other and how to treat each other. Can't say just because this is my way of doing it, you have to do it this way. Traveling around the world, especially in China, that has a very strong concept of how you're supposed to put the teapot on the table, where the handle is facing. When you fill somebody's teacup, it's different than when you fill their glass of beer. When you're in Thailand, you can't point at something with your foot or move something with your foot. It's considered really rude. And you can't point at something either. It's disrespectful. And there are a lot of rules about how to teach royalty in Thailand as well. And if you break some of those rules, you'll get kicked out or even imprisoned. This is how their culture is. So we need to respect other people's culture. Well, if we can see that clearly when it comes to taking off your shoes before you go into a Japanese home, for example, we need to also be in a way of learning about other people around us in our environment. What's the proper way to behave? What's the accepted way to behave? What's the respectful, honoring, considerate way to behave in this particular culture? Okay, number 3, love acts. Love doesn't sit in a cave. Part of the time, yeah, we need some meditation. I meditate every day, and it's a vital part of my daily regime. But overall, when you're done with that time of isolation, focus, contemplation, reflection, when you're done with that time, it's time to act. It's time to be a person who acts. Love is an active thing. Love reaches out. Love has projects and programs, and love has objectives. Love has goals. Love is trying to benefit others and itself. Love is expressing itself. If you're an artist, you're a painter, you're painting. You love that. That's an expression of love. That's how people do that for 36 hours and they don't even sleep sometimes. Or people play guitar. I know a guy who sits in his room every day, all day, and he just plays his guitar. He loves that. He's happy to do that. And when it's time to reach out, when it's time to act, when it's time to engage, he does that with others. He shares his guitar skills, his talent that he works so hard by himself in isolation. But then he comes out and he shares that with others, and he enjoys their talent to sing or their talent to play instruments as well. So although we have our own core, we need to have that, where we have our own silence, we have our own ideas about our private time, how we want to spend that, how we want to recharge, how we want to practice who we are, what we want to do in the world. Love acts, and love acts out in the world, and love extends out in the world. And this is part of the foundation of a better world. Taking action, wanting to be involved, wanting to interact with others. And in this interaction, in this getting involved, in this participation in the world, not being a spectator all the time, but taking part in what's happening in the game of life. We get challenges, and we learn from that. If we go back to love as our center, as our foundation for those challenges that come up, we learn and we grow. So acting is a way to mix it up, and can get really dicey, can get really messy, can have conflict. And that's okay, because that's a learning process for us, and that's an experience process. And we can grow from that, and others can grow from that too. So love acts. Love doesn't isolate. Love doesn't hold back all the time. Love nurtures. A key aspect of love is nurturing. This is a biggie. Because when we look at others in the world, not just the baby who needs milk, needs food, needs sleep, needs to be kept clean and warm, a lot more than that. There's people that are at work, there's our mate, there's our family, there's society, there's humanity in general. There are pets, there's wildlife, there are trees that need nurturing and need growing. And if we nurture and if we take care of our planet, we're not going to poison it, we're not going to kill it, we're not going to destroy the ozone layer, we're not going to cause global warming. Love is the solution to that, because we'll focus on, wow, maybe I should have an electric car, or maybe I should have some solar panels, or maybe we can use some alternative form of fuel and energy that's not going to be so destructive to the earth, because we're thinking about nurturing the earth, we're thinking about nurturing ourselves, thinking about nurturing things around us, helping them to grow. Because we're not money focused, we're not power focused, we're love focused. And love is helping us to know maybe this technology is going to be an improvement over that technology. Maybe this would be preferred. So love can solve that if we focus on love. Finally, number 5 of these 5 key ways that the foundation of love can make a difference in the world. Love has integrity. What is integrity? To me, when I think of integrity, it's saying what you mean, meaning what you say, following through on your commitments, being honest, not manipulating, not being deceptive, living a good life, being responsible, being accountable, trying to be a good person, having the honest intention to be honest and open and compassionate, not to try to look good, not to try to have a good reputation, not to try to deceive and manipulate others so that you can have better power over some situation, but just being yourself and just following through on your word and being the best person you can on a day-to-day basis. If we do that, the neighbor's dog ate our newspaper. If you have integrity about that, you're gonna do your best to not let that anger well up inside of you. You're not going to do some petty revenge trick. You're not going to do something out of anger, out of revenge. That's not integrity. Integrity is honesty. Integrity is warmth. Integrity is kindness. Integrity is respect. Also for ourselves. Might come to mind, what if the neighbor doesn't care? Well, you can kindly approach the neighbor and find out if that's really the case or not. Most people do care. Most people do want to work with you. Most people, everyone wants to. Everyone has love inside. But some of us are a little bit damaged. Some of us are a little bit, we don't have the understanding. All of us don't have a strong model for love. Many times the strongest model for love we're going to find in some preacher who then they find out is a pedophile sometimes. Or they find out that the preacher doesn't really do anything for anybody. He's just trying to build his congregation. He's talking a lot, but he's not doing anything. He's just trying to build up a congregation and get that money in so that he can build another church or pay the bills even. A lot of the times the people that we idolize, places where we think we're going to get love, we don't get it. But a lot of times we'll find love from people. We'll find nurturing. And we'll be able to get this good example so that we can also have integrity and love. We don't go by the examples of revenge and pettiness and holding anger inside and not opening up to someone and not saying, look, I'm really sorry, but I was so frustrated this morning because your dog grabbed my newspaper and he did that for the third time this week. And I really like that newspaper and I don't know how to stop him from doing it. So is there some deal that we can work out? How can I help to solve this problem? How can I help you? Because I don't think you want your dog to be taking my paper, right? So what can I do to make it better, to help to solve this problem? Because to be honest, it's really frustrating. We approach people in a way like that, then we can really find solutions all of the time, because most people are reasonable, or they want to be reasonable, or they just don't know how. And we need to, if we understand love, we need to be an example in this world. We need to stand for love. We need to be the example. We need to be the leader, because there are so few leaders of love. There are leaders in so many other areas, but not leaders in love. And that can be an expression of a good foundation of love and a good way that we can make the world a better place, make our lives a better lives, have more peace, have enough for everyone, and have a wonderful, happy life. This is the foundation. Love is the foundation for that. I haven't seen any other foundation. If you got one, yeah, let me know. I want to hear about it. But I have found love to be such a great, strong, universal foundation. Nothing even comes close. And I've been in a lot of religions, and I've been through a lot of self-help philosophies, studied a lot of that. So, but I'm sharing love because that's what seems to work for me. That's what seems to be the best of anything that I've seen so far. So there's some links here. Get your free ebook, the Book of Love. Go to thelovebuddy.com and join, or just peruse around and take a look at the 67 qualities of love. Go to the Love Buddy webpage on Facebook and like that if you want. There's going to be a course in love, Love 101, Introduction to Love. That's going to be available later this month. I'm putting the finishing touches on that. And there's going to be a live seminar, an event that I think will be either 3 or 4 days in New York in September for people who want to attend that. That'll be limited to 38 people. So we're going to keep things to a certain minimum so that I can be sure to communicate with all the people involved to the degree that it's necessary to nurture them and give them any help or any support that they might want when it comes to this concept of love. So anyway, that's a look at genuine love. That's what genuine love is about. That's what genuine love can be as a foundation in living our lives and interacting with others and making the world a better place. Understanding this concept of general love can add so much to the world, can add so much to our lives, can give us a center that we can always completely 100% count on in every decision and every action, everything we do in our lives. And it's guaranteed to bring us happiness. And if happiness is your idea of success, it's going to be the most successful thing you've ever done. I guarantee that. Okay, so have a wonderful day. This is Matthew from Love Buddy, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 p.m. New York time. I love you.